Hi guys, my name is Mateusz and today I'm going to talk about how to avoid an email blacklist. What is an email blacklist? It's a dark, murky place for those who have been caught red-handed spamming. But in some cases, you may get yourself on it by accident. To avoid it, you need to learn how blacklists work first. Blacklisting is a process of identifying the IPs and domains that are used to send out mass email spam and putting them on a list. If the recipient's email or internet service provider uses blacklists, the IP of each incoming email sender is checked against such a list. It works kinda like a bouncer in a club who checks each entering person against a guest list. If the IP happens to appear on the blacklist, the email is rejected and never gets delivered to the recipient's inbox. Then, the email goes through spam filters. If everything is okay, spam filters give the email a green light to reach its destination. But if the email looks suspicious, it is flagged as spam. Now let's talk about how blacklist database is built. Every time an email is marked as spam, either manually by a human or automatically by a spam filter, a note is given to a blacklist. The sender collects yellow cards. Once there are enough complaints to meet the blacklist criteria, a sender IP or domain gets blacklisted. The sender finally receives a red card. Another way of landing on one of the infamous lists is when someone sends a personal request to blacklist certain IPs or domains. Such a request must be accompanied by a proper justification or proof that the sender is a notorious spammer. One more factor that determines whether an IP address or domain should be blacklisted is a high bounce rate, as it's often connected with spamming activity. That's why it's so important to maintain an up-to-date and high-quality prospect list. Very often senders unknowingly keep getting red cards, which results in getting blacklisted. But what are the most serious mistakes? For example, sending to unverified email addresses, not taking enough care of the quality of the prospect list, extremely high volume of outgoing mail, the lack of personalization, or using spam words. Each blacklist has its own criteria for red flagging an IP. Usually, the reason is not a secret and you can check it on a blacklist website. Most often, the cause is technical or policy-based. If you notice that your open rate has dropped down, it's a sign that you might have been blacklisted. In some cases, your email or internet service provider might notify you that you got blacklisted, but usually you have to do a manual check. You can do so with one of the three types of places. Services that consist of several anti-spam lists, for example the Spam House Project and SpamCup, real-time black hole lists like SURBL and URIBL, and integrated diagnostic tools like MX Toolbox and Multi-RBL. And also, another way to find out if your IP is listed on the most popular blacklists is to run the mail tester checkup. If you found yourself on the blacklist, you're probably wondering how to get off it. Here's how you can do it. Your first step should be to check the unlisting process for a particular blacklist. Sometimes, all you have to do is to prove you're not a bot or follow other self-service procedures. However, before anything else, make sure you identify and remove the cause for which you landed on a blacklist. In other cases, you need to send an unlisting request to blacklist owners, explaining the whole situation using email or a special form. Some blacklists do not have an unlisting process. Instead, they remove your IP automatically after a certain period of time if you stop acting like a spammer. Remember that being removed from a blacklist is like a parole. Your email sending behavior is under close observation. Now, before you start sending emails again, you need to rebuild your IP or domain reputation. You have to go through a domain recovery process, either manually or automatically, for example by using Woodpecker warm-up and recovery. Additionally, think about what actions might have resulted in you being blacklisted. Did you send too many emails in a very short period of time? Was your message relevant to the target group? Was your prospect list up to date? Did you have a high hard bounce rate? Analyze, draw conclusions, and work on improving your future campaigns. If you stay consistent with the recovery process and keep away from spam-like behavior, your email server IP and domain reputation will slowly but surely improve. So finally, the most important thing you can do to avoid landing on a blacklist is to not act like a spammer would. Don't send out mass campaigns, don't use ready-made templates from the internet, take care of your prospect list, etc. Basically, just follow your heart and best email sending practices. That's all for this video. Now you know how to avoid email blacklists. It's better to be safe than sorry, but if you ever land on a blacklist, be sure to find the reason behind it and remove the cause. See you next time.